These are the coolest passports in the world. Some countries you may never have heard of have very beautiful and cool looking passports. There are also some special types of passports you have never heard of, that only important powerful people have. Some passports even protect you from getting arrested if you commit a crime. You will learn more about these passports by watching this video produced by Curious Mind. There are over 150 different types of passports in the world, and they come in different shades of red, blue, green and black. There aren't any rules for passports to be of certain colors, but countries usually choose among these four because they look official. A passport is a document that verifies the identity and nationality of a person during traveling. This makes it possible to travel to and from foreign countries. Passports are usually issued by national governments, but some subnational governments are authorized to issue passports to citizens within their borders. Some passports are more powerful than others. The more visa-free countries you can visit with it, the more powerful it is. The most powerful passports in 2024 are issued by the governments of France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Japan and Singapore. With a passport from one of these countries, you can travel to 194 out of 227 countries visa-free, followed by Finland, Sweden and South Korea with 193 visa-free destinations. European passports are generally very powerful. 23 out of the top 30 most powerful passports are European passports. One of the reasons being that the European Union guarantees free movement between member states. The country with the weakest passport is Afghanistan, with only 28 visa-free destinations. Bahraini passport. By shining a UV light at the passport, you can see different motifs. For example, the Al Fahd Grand Mosque. Another page shows different star formations that are visible from Bahrain. It also shows that Bahrain is a pearl trading hub and the country's oil derricks. You can also see the Bab al Bahrain, a historical building and a monument in the central business district of Manama. It marks the main entrance to the Manama Souk, the old bazaar of Bahrain's capital. The Belgian passport shows some famous Belgian comic strip characters: Tintin, Smurfs, Lucky Luke, Spyro and Fantasio, Largo Winch and others. The characters look very cool under UV light, shining with various bright colors. The passport has many Easter eggs for the comic book fans to find. Truly a unique and humoristic passport. Swiss passport. Switzerland is famous for its beautiful nature with its green landscape and high mountains. The wonderful Swiss landscape is depicted in the passport's pages. The design theme is water and mountains, which is a symbol of the dual force that make up the Swiss terrain. You can for example see the Alps, Europe's highest and most extensive mountain range. Norwegian passport. It may look basic from the outside, except for the color variation, but the pages inside are very beautiful. Under UV light you can see northern lights, also called Aurora Borealis, a natural green light display in the sky that sometimes can be seen in Norway. So beautiful. Canadian passport. The Canadian passport has a nice deep navy blue color and has the royal coat of arms of Canada and a Canadian maple leaf on the cover. The pages on the inside show landmarks, historical figures and natural wonders. Under UV light, the landmarks shine with wonderful bright colors. It is not only beautiful, but also very high-tech anti-fraud technology. And while we are talking about Canada, we can also mention that the only person in the world who doesn't need a passport to travel is the British King. A British monarch does not require a passport, because the passport is issued in the name of His Majesty, so it is unnecessary. New Zealand passport. The New Zealand passport has the rarest passport color, black. Only 7 countries have a black cover. New Zealand chose it because its national color is actually black. The text on the color has a nice silver shine, which is a perfect eye-catching contrast. The inside pages have motifs of navigational tools used by New Zealand explorers through the times. There is a special type of passport that can protect you from getting arrested or prosecuted, even if you commit a crime. They are called diplomatic passports. Diplomats and other individuals traveling on government business can get a diplomatic passport. There are 3 different types: diplomatic passports, official or service passports, and public affairs passports. Diplomatic passports. Diplomatic passports give the greatest degree of immunity from border control inspections, typically issued to diplomats, senior consular staff, heads of state or government, and to senior foreign ministry employees. Official or service passports. Official passports usually give a similar immunity from border control inspections as regular diplomatic passports. They are issued to senior government officials traveling on state business. Public affairs passports. Public affairs passports usually do not give immunity from border control inspections, but they are subject to more liberal visa policies, primarily in Africa and Asia. They are issued to Chinese nationals holding senior positions in state-owned companies. If you are issued a diplomatic passport, you are covered by diplomatic immunity in the host country. This immunity gives the holder, in theory, a form of protection to not be prosecuted. Although, in reality, when misused, this immunity and therefore also the passport can be recalled. The name Laissez-Passer is French and means let pass. A laissez-passer is a travel document often issued by a country for a one-way trip for humanitarian reasons. Laissez-passers were commonly issued during times of war. They were historically used as passports to allow travel out of war zones or to other countries for various officials. Today the most common laissez-passer is the United Nations laissez-passer, issued by the United Nations. They are issued to staff members of the United Nations and some of its organizations. Another common laissez-passer is the European Union laissez-passer, issued to members of the institutions of the European Union. Laissez-passer can also be given to non-living objects to enable their transport across international borders. For example, to corpses in order for a body to be buried in a different country from the one in which the person died. A similar document to the United Nations and European Union laissez-passer is the Interpol travel document. It is issued to Interpol officers for travel to Interpol member countries. The document reduces response times for Interpol officers by removing normal visa requirements. It gives them special immigration status when traveling on official Interpol duties. There are some more special kinds of passports. One type is called emergency passports or temporary passports. They are issued to persons who don't have any passport but need to travel urgently. For example, someone abroad whose passport has been lost or stolen and needs a passport to travel home. These passports are only valid for very short durations. The world's rarest passport is the Sovereign Military Order of Malta passport, a passport issued to officials and diplomats of the Knights of Malta. There are only about 500 of these passports and they are accepted by 113 countries. The Order of Malta is a religious order. They don't have any land of their own, so the printing of the passports are handled in Austria. The order is considered a sovereign entity under international law and is led by an elected prince and grand master. The members of the Order of Malta are generally citizens of different countries with their own national passports. This is an aboriginal passport. But is it really a passport? It is a travel document issued by the self-declared Aboriginal Provisional Government in Australia, an organization seeking to create an Aboriginal nation. Though they are not recognized as valid by the Australian government or its Australian Customs and Border Protection Service, so they are pretty useless, as even the European Union calls them fantasy passports. But there are actually some Australians that have been permitted to re-enter Australia using Aboriginal passports, but with warnings to never use it again. Can you guess what the most expensive passport in the world is? It is the passport of one of the smallest countries of Europe, Liechtenstein. If you are a citizen of Liechtenstein, It costs you around $280 every time you have to renew it. And the second most expensive passport in the world is Australia's at a cost of around $240. As you have seen, there are a lot of different passports in the world, and now you know how the coolest ones look. If you want to take your passport and travel to another country, you might want to rent a car there. Then you should rent the safest car in the world. If you want to learn more about it, you can watch our video about the safest car in the world by clicking the link on the screen. Which passport was your favorite? Leave a comment down below and tell us. Like, subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to watch more from us. Thanks for watching, and we hope that your curious mind has become a little more fed.